Rise and shine. I just put some force behind that. Boom. Yeah, wake somebody up this morning. This is that kind of wake up call. I'm your boy, Marquis Saint. On my heart from the start, I get up and I am blessed to live my life. To travel the world, start businesses from nothing, and reach, preach, and teach about everything that comes with all of our health, our surrounding health, our body health, our physical health. Where did my water go? And our financial health. So hold tight. I'm not asking for money today. This is about your financial health. There was three. Where's my water? Yes, it was 3 days in a row. Now, I know I'm in Brazil, so, the desperation and the lockdown makes people ask, but 3 days in a row, that was, ask for money or in a money situation first thing in the morning. And I don't need to go through the situations because they're not that important. They're just everyone's individual fire alarm. But instead of fire mark, they used to say fire marshal Bill, fire marshal Mark, running into the fires of other people's financial woes. The thing I wanted to talk to people the most was generating income. Mr. Martin, thank you for watching. Generating income from nothing versus borrowing it to nothing. And this concept I was trying to explain, because it's also about financial health here, was I know myself personally, I had horrible habits, and just identifying my spending habits were just on wants and desires, right? The quick fix, the pulling of a one-armed bandit, a slot machine, something that gives us some sort of stimulus that we're winning, a reward. Buy sugar now, buy an ice cream, I can buy dinner, I can buy my rewards. Or there was the development of the act of just being the reward. So the act that I even get to travel is the reward. The act that I even get to start a business, that's what I wanted the most out of anything in the whole entire world, was a successful business. And it's talk about the ultimate wish, the ultimate prize, your favorite Christmas present would probably to be wish for financial freedom, and I also wanted to ease people's pains. We are saints, we light up the world, and it's shitty to watch the imbalance of the world shift away from these people. It's really hard to watch. Kind of got in this debate, and you can debate too down below, because I was sticking up for American homeless, and the girl that was in my English class, not a girl, she's 35 years old, the woman in my English class was calling her sister or family member in Seattle. She's from Brazil, she's in Seattle, and we were talking about it's got a horrible homeless population, my opinion. And I just visited only once, just this last year. I've never been there before, so this was something new to me. But I mean, legit tents like Skid Row in LA, Seattle has the same thing. But she was arguing that for Brazil, there is no other alternative. There is no, can I borrow money? Because no one has money. There is no get a job because no one has jobs. And it's like, the perspective for me was, and everybody knows this about me fighting for the homeless and saints giving and giving back. But they're like, they could get a job. They could change their life. This perspective, right? For both countries. It was like the same type of meme when the one guy was watching, there's the businessman and the homeless man sitting on the same bench, and both are thinking the same thought was, I just need more money. And how crazy is that one's not even homeless and's got a suit on his back, but he's still obsessed about money, and the other one's homeless is obviously obsessed about money. And this obsession, like I said, 3 mornings in a row, people talking to me trying to borrow it or do something about money. Anyway, apparently my name is not Mark anymore, it's Bank. But anyway, so what I encouraged this gentleman to do, he was freaking out, oh man, I'm going to get evicted, was to, instead of borrowing the money into nothing and just pays one bill, keeping the money till it makes the money to pay multiple bills. Now that's a really thick concept, but One of them, especially financial books that I've read, is to pay yourself first. This is something that I need to emphasize because what's going to end up happening is it's a debits and credits system here. Debits and credits. Now, it took me a long time to learn this concept, so it's not going to be as easy as watching my one video, but debits and credits to get to the level where my financials, right, were not always getting debited, but I was putting in more credits so that I could pay more debits, right? And I always thought it was earn more money, pay more bills. And this was a direct thought, indirect thought, really, because it was just an unknown known. But your philosophy towards money needs to be identified, right? This would be a good time to have some financial literature and see what is your money aptitude. You know what I mean? Are you a high risk, high reward type person like I am? Or are you steady and low risk and you tolerate just moderate gains? Because I'm all about my high gains but end up spending more money than I earned. And I'm just being honest about my situation. It's easier to speak from my perspective than for someone else's perspective. But money in general seems to be the hottest topic, and I wanted to call this show the start of the day because this was at the start of both days for 3 days in a row. And then it occurred to me that us as human beings, we spend all day massaging our brain with endorphins and dopamine to feel good about our lives, right? It might not work if you're looking at social media because it makes you jealous, but and misinformed. But while you're massaging your brain with alcohol and food and just try to get right from the morning, so you wake up, this is almost like everyone's emergency. This is almost prime time for your most alertness, your most clear thoughts. You've had 8 hours of sleep. You're not under the influence of the beer from the night before, the drugs from the night before, the sex from the night before. You're at your most alertness, and I think this is why people read the morning paper and they self-adjust themselves in the morning. And I think what happens is, I know for a fact what happens. Here's what happens is while you're tuning into your body, right, when you wake up, first things first is you don't have control over your extremities, my hands, my arms, my legs. And you might think that you do, but your system tries to wake up. It tries to send signals. First things first is to our eyes. These are easy to flicker. And we thought that our whole lives because your eyes open and it just flickers and you're in the game. But what happens is it's your body. I'm glad there's stripes on this ceiling because this will help. But your body will start putting on systems. Hi, you're getting woke up like a computer, and turn on your eyelids. Send a few clicks through your feet, right? Before you're even just jumping up out of bed, your systems have to check off, and your brain wakes you up in certain zones. It's a pretty big trip. What happens is as you start getting online, it goes back to your brain, and you start revving up, right? Your day. What do I need to do with my day? And that thought right here, that zone, usually happens in the morning time, which is really interesting. So before you start numbing yourself and numbing your life and you're like, this ain't right, you in the morning, you self-adjust. It's a blessing. And a detriment in itself is the lack of things. And the first thing people do is lack of money. I got to go find money. What I haven't heard from anybody do is, how do I generate money? Right? There's a have, do, be instead of be, do, have. And to be what you want to be. Now it's not work anymore. Now it's not a calculated hours for dollars on your back like a hooker, like my dad would say. This is not how you want to get paid. You don't want to get paid off the back of your, hey, morning sunshine, see you. You want to get paid off your back. You know what I mean? That's hooker status. You want to getting paid off something smart. Right? You want to educate yourself, and this is the other thought of the day this morning that did the morning marijuana motivation. So I'm literally watching Illinois University talk about nuclear reactors. Yeah, your boy, I've been watching 10 episodes of this professor doing nuclear reactors. Anyway, that's some high level stuff, and I'm not patting myself on the back. What I'm saying is there's some education out there. And here's for people, this is good for them to listen to this. I think that they thought I was asking for money, but this is a way for you to make money, right? They say teach a man to fish, he can eat for his life. Almost pulled a George Bush. Fool me once, fool me twice. Um, but the cool part about this was that I wanted to help people with their financial freedom. And then I also was thinking that there's this education level to this because I was like, this is some thick stuff. Where there's some people that don't have to use their brain at all and do checkout stands and just cling, cling. The computer does all the work, or shoveling or picking up trash, grab trash, put it back. It's not a lot of thick thinking. But for university level, they've thickened it up so hard that they're literally doing nuclear reaction, fission, chemistry, some thicker subjects. These kids are so funny. Even math, and some of this harder science and math for the raising of their aptitude in life. I'm not talking about going to college on this one. I'm talking about generating income. This one, because people were asking me for money, and I was saying, bro, you got your head all fucked up. You want to spend the money, and now it goes back to zero. Now you're down to zero, and this one bill is paid. This is your equation. Mine was hold and make 3 different forms of income, kind of like a Ponzi scheme, or a, what the fuck's those called? They're not Ponzi scheme. Are they Amway? No. What are they called? Marketing, network marketing. Yeah, so you got your network marketing scams. Sorry, but they're kind of scams, and you grow the 3 things, and that touches 3 things. But in general, the idea is to have yourself into, ready for it, people services. People services. Being of use to other humans is a way to get paid. And it doesn't necessarily have to be nuclear science and nuclear reactors and science and math, no, but you can get paid for being of service to someone, because that's where the money is generated. You don't go up to a bank and it gets generated. No, they generate it to a person. And to being of service to a person is people services. That's why I picked shirts. Food, clothing, and shelter, as my dad would say, is the 3 bad habits. Food, clothing, and shelter. He hasn't broken the habits, and neither are you. So, food industry workers or chefs, they can make buku. Growing vegetables and fruits, you can make buku. Shelter, especially like my brother, he's saved up enough to make into where he's like, rent. Why do I ever pay rent? That's just outgoing money. Saving enough to charge other people rent. People are going to need a place to stay. That's just facts. Down here in Brazil, got to pay the bills. It's like, fuck. It's the only outcome. It's probably the biggest chunk of outcome. I can live off of $3 a day, $5 a day, $10 a day, all day, every day. But the rent comes, and it's the biggest bill I got, right? So it's like, oh shit, this is a real cost. So I go into the morning, I think like everybody else, and my morning's really subtle. I'm being honest, I don't wake up to an alarm clock. I check more on my health and my body and the way that I feel. I know my desires are consistent every day to what I want and my goals in my life, but most people don't have goals, and most people don't get back into the bed and stretch. And this is something I have to feel that I'm in my body and I'm in this thing as my systems come online. I do not emergency what's in my bank account. I don't know how many people do that, but it's emergency check my social media, emergency what's in my bank account, emergency what time is it kind of thing. The only time first thing I have to touch my phone is only to see what time it is. I don't have a clock, I don't have a watch, but I do check on what time it is. It kind of has a little pop-up for the weather, and I'll go, that's what today is, But for the most part, I don't want to engage with robotics. I want to engage with body. And I want to engage with my faculties. But what I'm noticing is these people are revving up, and in the morning they're like, emergency. How do I fix my money situation? This is my only wake up, money, go to bed, numb. Wake up, money, go to bed, numb. Wake up, money, go to bed, numb. In this repeat cycle that started this morning marijuana motivation. And then it's the motivation. We're going to get into this, but this is a deeper thought, and this is what I wanted. I want to not only give people a way out, talking about financial freedom, talking about money, making money, and making something from nothing instead of spending it all and having nothing. And this is one of my older bad habits, and I'm just trying to teach people a new, better habit that's really helped me get further is, making the money work for me instead of me working for the money. And this is something that most people don't want to do. They don't want to generate a new thought and be in a new education and be a new form of themselves and a new attitude and a new mental stability. Which should we say, a new mental financial discipline? Oh, it's so cute. There's so many frogs, dude. I don't know if you guys gotta always show off the the wildlife here, and there was over 50 frogs this small in my house. I woke up this morning, and this little frogs everywhere, dude. I mean, all around the corner and into the corners, and there's probably still some along the edge. I let them all live, but yeah, baby, where'd you go, baby? Miniature frogs. Anyway, that's a distraction. We're going to get back into this game. So, generating income for themselves, everyone has a passion. Everyone should have a goal written down. This is what's going to take us to the promised land. Doing what we love to do, and that's going to make you do it for longer and on the times that it's the hardest. This is what I'm trying to teach people. The other way is to go up against a bank or something, have it loaned to them, or go up against a building, have it given to them through employment, which nothing wrong with employment. I get it. I'm just saying hours for dollars. Again, we're doing the hooker thing. So even if you're in employ, saving a little nut that I'm seeing my friends do, investing, and I think my boy Hamilton's still in this game watching, but investing side money. I've seen people get into this. GameStop, they knew about Tesla stock, they knew about Bitcoin, and they had enough income to save and get into the stock market. Yep, he's watching call. So they could participate in the growth of an economy in the game too, but to participate in the growth of companies when they're getting $30 billion investments, or they open up a new factory in Shanghai. We've been on the hours for dollars hourly game for too long, and they've been keeping that miniaturized for too long too. The average work hours. I was watching something about capitalism on Netflix, but the girl was right. She's worked crazy hours at McDonald's, begging for California to finally hit the $15 an hour mark. It wasn't enough. She said she made whatever $1,300 a month, and $900 of it went to rent, and you can imagine the rest for food and bills and her phone bill, and you just feel bad for her. It's amazing that that's how it works. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting multiple messages here, but here I'm trying to get everybody in on the game. The thing is that we have an ability to learn a new trade, or we have abilities to offer other people. Stay in the human service sector, right? So you got the people that have a nest egg that they can play in the growth of economies, in currencies and stock markets. And then you got the other people that have kept residual income and rode in real estate and knew that people always needed shelter, food, clothing. I'm in the clothing game. This is one of the reasons I chose to be in the clothing game. People always need shirts. I'm getting orders as we speak. That's why my messages started popping off. It feels great that I can make an income from overseas. That's why I started this business and wanted it to go. It should be a lot more successful, and that's on me to grow. But for other people to grow, stay in human services, even if it's fucking cutting nails, even if it's cutting hair. I got a couple chicks that do nails and hair out here, and they kill the game. They kill the game because it's a human service. You're always going to need a haircut. You're always going to need your nails trimmed if you're a girl. You know what I mean? But as a human being, these are human services that we've given needing this service through another human. My boy Hamilton says still watching. I'll throw a shout out to him because he's doing I don't want to call it digital preservation, but he's saving people's data. Old data on old discs, your old floppy disks and all the other old stuff, and old film and pre-digital age, and taking your analog data and making it into digital and backing up people's data. This is a human service. You think that you would know how to do it yourself, but you won't. You think you would know how to do plumbing, but you won't. One of those jobs is really dirty. Plumbing, stealing people's feces and urine. I'm not a big fan. He uses his brain, therefore his cleanup is on a data disk and his hands don't get dirty. respectively. And that is a genius. That's the genius of doing a job that you have a skill set at. I would be working on nuclear reactors if I knew how. I would be in chemistry and working on, modern medicine. There's all these people that got with their program, with their math and their science, and they're literally learning this stuff. I flipped through a couple episodes of this thing called Billionaires or Billions. Billions. Is it a Netflix show? I don't know. Anyway, it's on my YouTube. But the little clips of this dude burning through information. This girl's like, how long you been here? 3 months. I'm an intern. Burning through information, looking at satellite photos, watching a company, knowing about the CEO and his characteristics and the last time he spoke and what he did and how his trade and what the value of the company, and making huge heads bets on intelligence and information. That's her service. Was she an intern to push and staple? No, she's not an intern to push and staple paperwork. That's not what her job is to do. Her job is to find good information. You know what I'm saying? That's what it really is to find good information that's worthy of your time and intelligence. It's for you to put your time and information into developing things versus worrying about things. And that's what just came up out of this thing for in the morning, was that the 3 friends in a row, it was the Bank of Mark, and I was like, bro, there's no financial literacy. And I think that's the biggest difference here in the two economies. Was the one has to stay intuitive, have their ingenuity to develop things from nothing, right? When you're living in a third world country, you see people make umbrellas out of nothing. You see them rig carts out of nothing. See some pretty cool, intelligent things. They even use the rails and pump it to get on. I think it was in Vietnam or Cambodia where they still use the old rails because the rail system doesn't work there anymore. This is the life that I'm seeing. I'm seeing us being able to discover something within ourselves that has some aptitude, that has some intellect, that has some intelligence, so we don't have to work the hard hours and generate this incomes. A better pitch than just ask is such an easy no effort situation where the other ones are like, please make something, make this money, please make a taco company, dude, help me with this taco company. I told my buddy the other day he wanted to be Sting, he wanted to be a rock band leader, and he was like on his phone and talking to his girlfriend and trying to talk to my girlfriend, and it was just like, bro, I can make my own beans. I can cook my own meat. What do I need you for? I can cut my own vegetables. These aren't high-level skill jobs, and that's what I'm saying. So the higher you get in ranking of a job of human services, now can you do my taxes? That is where your pay comes in. Can you be my attorney? We have this they were also talking about perceived attorneys and why they get paid buku an hour. They get paid ridiculous amounts an hour because we need them in clutch situations. And like your boy Jay-Z was rapping to other rappers and trying to spit game. He's like, you're rolling up in a Mercedes to your mama's house, right? That she's renting. You don't even own the property. You're balling out. You put more on the rims, but you don't have attorney fees. And that was an eye shocker to most people because we live in such a litigious country in America to always have to have your health insurance ready to go because health costs us so much, and your lifeline, your life insurance, and this is like health life insurance, but your real life insurance, your attorney keeping your life alive when your next lawsuit, ticket, bill, cop interference happens. You have to be able to bust out 500 or grand or even more depending on what you're battling to keep your ass out of jail. And then you got to create something that creates passive income so that it works for you, and you got to work for someone else. I don't mean a boss, but I mean of human service. So be of service to other humans. It could be trimming old people's nails. It could be cutting their hair. It could be driving people somewhere like Ubers. There's a service right there. All these people, they didn't buy all the cars. They just rented your car. Shocking, isn't it? So it's one of these situations where I wanted people to be able to save themselves the worry, save themselves the heartache, and save themselves a new strategy to be able to earn what they want in their lives and be a generator of wealth, not only for good people, but making them feel better too. And the best way to do it is to be of a human service to some other humans, because they're the ones that got to reconnect, reach into their own pockets and give up of their power and hold that golden ticket and give away their golden ticket to someone else. You don't need to be a massage therapist, really. People just need to be touched. Light a candle in the brown bag with the sand at the bottom, and all of a sudden it's a massage area. All of a sudden you put out one table and it's a massage area. It's like, wow, that's an instant business. And my other buddy did the surf bar, where you just put a surfboard upside down, put fruits and alcohol, boom, there's another business. So I'm always shocked at the simple, easy businesses. Jerry's Tacos. You guys don't have tacos? Tacos are so easy to fucking make. They're the staple of like Mexican diet. And it's like, no, we're going to just not do that. So make food for somebody. You know, I was watching the episode of the guy, he immigrated because he gave him the fake social security number. They fired him when they found out it was a fake social security number. Even though he's an awesome, hardworking chef, they had to fire him. So he was making tacos for his brother-in-law, because he was dating the sister at the time. And he's like, damn, you make tacos like this? He's like, obviously. He's like, we need to go into business together. And now they have 3 or 4 different food trucks going around all the different corporations, because they, you know, want different food and they need food delivered to them. They're making high income, but they're not making their own food. And there you are as a human service. These are things that people could do for themselves, make their own websites. But I don't know how to make a website. Marky Saint doesn't know how to make websites well enough at the level that I want them to. So I need to hire someone else's services. So be of service to somebody. This is that morning marijuana motivation. I'm not asking you for money. I'm asking you to be of service. And that's all I can ask of other human beings, is be there for people, be value added. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a taker, be a giver. You know, give over take. If you're in that atmosphere, you got Saints Anarchy. We're going to make some give over take shirts. You know, that's about Saints giving. You know, it's all about us giving of ourselves and our lives. If we're not service to someone, what are we really doing with our lives? Being stingy. So being of service to other people, being of help in the community, being of help to your friends, just being value added in general makes you a +1, lights up your halo, makes you a saint. And then you get Saints brand. We are Saints. We are here to light up the world. And that's what this was all about, for people to get the best out of this, out of the world, and the best out of themselves, and to give that to other people. That's the best gift I can give. So on my heart from the start, it's your boy Marky Saint. Saints addiction. I'm addicted to this weed. I'm addicted to travel. And I'm addicted to giving. And I keep doing that to the day that I die. And that's your morning marijuana motivation. If you got anything out of this, do hit the like button, share button, subscribe button, right? They say smash that button. And give it to the friend that needs it the most. That's what I really do the show for. You know, I was that guy. My friends can be that guy or girl, that needs to be reached, preach, and teach to. It just needs a holy sermon without the hallelujah, and uplift somebody. And that's what saints do. We light up the world. So peace and love, and as always, Chigata. That means goodbye, but not forever in Finnish. And I will see you on the other side. Ciao.